Hey, what's going on, my friends? This is Gabriel, the Proactivator, and I just finished interviewing Mr. Charles Allen. He is one of the co-founders and owners of CrossFitMIA in Miami. Great interview. This guy has a lot of knowledge. He's been around, and he's definitely a Proactivator guy. So first of all, I want to welcome Mr. Charles Allen to the Proactivators Club. I hope you enjoy this interview, and I want you to click like and subscribe to this channel. That way you can help a brother out, okay? Also, I did have some challenges with the video, okay? So at one point on the video is going to be a still picture. The audio is still pretty good, so I apologize for that, but still great interview and great perspective from a entrepreneur and leader. Here's the video. Enjoy. All right. First, Charles, I'm going to tell you what this podcast is all about.
Okay.
The podcast is called Proactivators Club. Now, what is a Proactivator? The Proactivator came out from have you ever heard the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People?
Of course.
Awesome. Well, do you remember what the first habit was?
I do not. I mean, I have the book. I have not read it yet, though. I have the book.
Okay. All right. Well, the first habit is to be proactive.
Okay.
And then I read the book. I did a book report on it. And then I eventually started teaching the book on a book club that I started.
Okay, you told me about that, yeah.
So then I ended up being able to apply a lot of the teachings from that book.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, hey, man, how do you call somebody who's a proactive person?
Yeah.
Hey, man, that person's proactive. You know,
Yeah.
It's not really a word. Then when I think I was watching the Terminator, and I like the determination that guy had,
Sure,
right?
sure.
Determination. That guy, he was so like indestructible that they ended up making him the good guy from the second movie
Yeah,
and
yeah,
on.
yeah.
So then I'm like, hey, man, you know, I like the determination that the Terminator has. So Proactivator.
Okay. I got it.
Came
Okay.
from that,
Gotcha.
okay? Proactivator. So now, what does a Proactivator do? Well, all Proactivators, they seek to enhance their lives by acquiring good habits,
Okay.
by eliminating habits that are not good for them. And what happens is that they start making their lives and everybody's lives around them better.
Okay.
So that's what a Proactivator is. So in this quest that I have that I'm starting, I'm looking for Proactivators.
Gotcha.
I'm looking for entrepreneur people.
Okay.
They don't have to be entrepreneurs, but they have to have some form of success in some areas of their lives. It could be fitness. It could be. I go to church. It could be a pastor because they found success in spiritual life and Bible knowledge. Somebody who has their own business. Okay, so that's why we're here today.
Cool. Perfect.
So, Charles, tell me a little bit about you and CrossFitMIA.
CrossFitMIA.
CrossFit
We don't call
MIA.
me. God damn, Gary. How long you been here for?
Oh, man.
No, it's MIA. So just short for
Hey,
Miami.
I'll edit that for you.
Yeah, short for Miami. So I guess I've go way back. I've been an athlete my whole life. Played sports as a kid. Played sports in high school and went and played college football. So working out has always been something that I've always done. After college, I graduated. Came back to Miami after coaching for a few years at my college. Got a regular job with the state of Florida and was in LA Fitness working out just because I always did that. So I continued working out. Saw me, hey, can you train me? So I ended up being a personal trainer. Basically it was a side job after my 9 to 5. Built a pretty big client base at LA Fitness and then went out on my own to another gym and took all my clients with me. And there's a gym across the street from where we are now. And that was in 2010. And then my gym introduced CrossFit. So they partnered with my partner now, Zach. So Zach had CrossFit MIA originally in 2011. And And then he came over. I became a coach. Him and the other owner had a falling out. He's like, Zach needed a partner, and I stepped in. This was 2012. So for the past 12 years, me and Zach have been the owners of CrossFit MIA. You know, being a competitive athlete, working out at the gym, doing your normal splits, your bench on Mondays, legs Tuesdays. There was never that competitive aspect of it. But when I found CrossFit, now you know how it goes. You're competing in workouts, competing with your friends. You're trying to get better each day. You can do repeat workouts and see how you're doing. So the competitive aspect of CrossFit is what draw me into the sport. And that's really all I do now. I mean, I obviously still lift weights like bodybuilding type stuff, but not the same as CrossFit. So been doing it for 12 years. That's kind of how I got into it. And yeah.
Now, what are the challenges of owning a CrossFit gym?
Well, like I said, we've been around for 12 years, and I think, well, it's 2024, so it's almost 13 years, technically. Any business that lasted that long has gone through ups and downs, trials and tribulations. I think right now it's much more difficult to start than when we started. CrossFit was still fairly new. CrossFit came around 2008, 2009. So it was pretty much in its infancy phase back then. It didn't take a whole lot of capital back then. So when my partner Zach started the gym, it was basically him and his friends. It was like we had 12 members. It was just a chance for his friends to work out with Zach, together. And then Zach had another business, so he didn't have time to dedicate to the business like he wanted to. And that's why he brought me on as a partner. And we didn't need much. Our first space was 1,200 square feet, right? So it was actually 2 blocks north of here. It was a little hole in the wall. We had 6 or 8 people in class, and again, mainly it was friends and family who started out with us. We have people who were there originally who are still with us now, 13 years later, which is crazy. But I think my initial investment was like $9,000, right? And that was to buy equipment and pay the first month's rent and the deposit of the first month's rent. So I think the barrier to get in back then was pretty low, right? You pay your affiliate fee once a year. Back then it was $3,000 a year. And with that affiliate fee, you can use CrossFit's name. That's all you really get from them, however you want to use it. The good thing about CrossFit not being a franchise is that they allow you to run the business however you want to. So they don't have no say in what you do. Obviously, you don't do anything illegal, but I mean, they don't have any say in how you run your business. So you have freedom from that standpoint there, where it's like you run Orange Theory. Every Orange Theory is a cookie cutter of the same one. So it's the same thing, same books, same classes, same workouts. So you have a lot of autonomy here with CrossFit, besides the $3,000 fee you pay to use their name. So other than that, keep rent low. I think for the first few years, we didn't really make any money. Like we basically did enough to cover the bills. So we each had our own full-time jobs. I remember getting like a check for the month for $250. That's what we made for the month, and we split that. So, and now it's going to take a lot of money to get started, especially if you're here in Miami. Just for equipment alone, for locations, it's so hard to find space here. I think it's almost impossible, really. I wouldn't recommend it, really, honestly, anyone get started unless you have big bags behind you, big financial backers. Because you're looking at least $50,000 to get started, and then you gotta build a community. You gotta add people. You gotta add members. You gotta pre-sale. So from that standpoint, that's kind of why like F45s or Orange Theories work, because they have a marketing background behind you. They have a corporate background behind you to push and help market your thing. So when they open up, they already have foundations, already have 300 members already signed up. So if you were starting from scratch, it's going to take a lot of work on the front end with marketing. Like back then, we didn't market on Facebook. We didn't do Google ads. Tell your friends and come by for a class, which we still do to this day. But that's kind of how we got started.
Let me ask you something. Enable for your business to grow, did you have to implement certain habits in your life, things that you knew, look, if I keep doing this, if I start, we're gonna be able to get this business off the ground?
You know, I think for the first couple of years, 3, 4 years, we probably dropped the ball by not taking it serious enough. It was more of a hobby. It was more like, hey, I have my other job. I make money there. You know, I train a few clients here. This is a place for me to come work out with friends and family. So I would say the first 4 years, it really wasn't even a business. Like I think our revenue for the first year was like 12 grand for the whole year. So it wasn't a business. It was a hobby. So again, it's 4 or 5 years just dragging our feet. But eventually, you know, my end, because I'm kind of more the day-to-day operations, I could start to see the possibilities, right? And then something changed in me maybe 8, 9 years ago or 7 years ago, where I got into, I've always been in the finance, I've always been into the stock market. I've been investing for 20 years. But I really just started taking things seriously as far as self-improvement, becoming better at what I'm trying to do, just having a passion for this. So something clicked.
What do you
And
think was that click? What triggered it?
I think it was just maturity and, you know, at the time realizing, hey, you need to make some money here. Like you're going to have the lifestyle that you want to have. I can't put my finger on the date or when it happened, when it occurred, but something occurred like, hey, you know, this is now, we've done 100K in revenue for the year, but still, you know, that's revenue, that doesn't count expenses and anything. So we still weren't making any money, but something in me clicked. And like I said, now, you know, I hired a business coach because all best athletes in the world have coaches. In the gym industry. So I hired a business coach, mentor gym 2 years ago, and basically come together with brand businesses and figure out what works at your gym and our gym, and then we put the best things forward. And if you have an issue, you put it up to the group. So someone's probably dealt with that issue, so no need for you to go through it. Someone's already been experienced it, so you know you have the easy answer. So I've been with them for 2 years. I have a mentor call once a month. I go to meetings. It's been fantastic. So that's been a big game changer for us on the business side, having someone else and some accountability. So when I got to talk to somebody about what's going on. I got some goals set there. I know I'm going to talk to my coach about it. I need to make some progress on those goals. So that's helped. Again, it's the same thing with the members. If someone doesn't come here for a week, I'm texting them and checking in. Hey, where you at? So I got a coach doing the same thing for me. So that's been a big change for us in the past 2 years, as far as the growth of our gym.
And I think that it also helps for you to see other, like just like at the CrossFit, the way CrossFit is set up is that it awakens that competitive spirit.
Sure.
So what you do by having this group, it's like, oh man, you see how they're doing.
Oh no! Listen, it's when you see what other gyms are doing, it's like, oh my god, like this is crazy. Like I didn't think that was possible. Yeah, I remember back in the day. So back in the day when Groupon was huge, right? It was really big. There was a gym local, I don't say their name, but they were offering massive Groupon deals. So they'd have, 100 people come in for the week because they were giving away for like $10. It was something very extremely cheap. And I was talking to the owner. He was like, yeah, we did $20,000. And I remember telling Zach, like, man, I would cut my arm off for a $20,000 a month. Right? Like back then, that was like a dream. That was like, oh my God, that we'd be rich, but like we made it. But now $20,000 is just going to cover the bills here, right? Cover our expenses. So it's crazy how things have changed, and you're when you see what other people are doing, right, and you see the possibilities. I talk about a lot of my group. It's called imposters syndrome. So you got to believe that you can do this. Like sometimes you feel like I shouldn't even be in this group. Like these guys are doing $1 million a year in revenue. Like it's insane. But we've been around long enough. I believe in our product. I know we do a good job here. So we've progressed a lot. And it's not easy because there's competition everywhere, and we're going against sometimes big corporations with millions and millions of dollars in marketing. And, we're a mom and pop shop. We have CrossFit name backing, but CrossFit does nothing for us besides provide the name. So there's nothing that they give us for our affiliate fee besides the username. So it's on us to make it happen. And right now, I think we're doing a good job with that.
Nice. Now, it boils down to, I believe, mindset.
Sure.
The mindset that when you are a part of a group, seeing everybody else see what is possible, it opens up your mindset.
Sure.
Nice, man. Now, talk to me about if did you uh, were you able to apply, let's say, certain habits that you picked up on your um, working out, getting that routine going? Have you been able to apply any of those um, habits into your business? Because a lot of times when you become really good at one thing, and you say, "Hey, man, if I were to apply myself in this area, just like I do in this area, I might be able. I can get this area
Sure.
higher."
Sure. I mean, I think coming from an athletic background, playing sports my whole life, I think it's really an invaluable skill for anybody to have, especially kids to have, just know how to work with a team and have goals to set. So I've always been in the mindset, right? I have to work out. I mean, if I don't work out, I don't feel good, right? So it's been going on for 30 years now that I've been working out. So it's something that I just do. And it's not a matter of motivation, because a lot of times I don't want to do anything. So I'm tired and my back hurts. I'm old now. But discipline trumps motivation always. So you got to have discipline, right? You got to do what you have to do. So having that mindset from being an athlete my whole life has definitely carried over into business. And I know from an athletic standpoint, you put in the time, you put in the hard work, you put in the hours it needs to be put in, progress comes. So that same thought process can be put into business. Like I said, in the first few years, it was because that was new to me, and it was you kind of learning on your way. And I didn't have anyone really showing me the way. I wasn't talking to other gyms. I wasn't, I could see them online on Instagram, but Instagram's not real. Right? So you see that, and it may look all shiny, but behind the scenes, it could be terrible. But eventually, those same habits kicked in, and then it became almost, I wouldn't say an obsession, but it was definitely a major push to make a big change, to turn this business into something that's going to provide me and my family, going down the future.
Yeah. Can you pinpoint to what is it? Maybe, okay, so you said you were an athlete.
Yeah.
But was it the coaches back then that instilled that belief system in you that like, oh man, I need to work out? Why did you made that a part of your life?
Man, it's just, I think that just became habit, right? It's just something that you did. When I was younger, I was a real skinny kid, and I remember being in ninth grade and going into my sophomore year, and I never had really worked out, and we had to go work out in the weight room, and I was embarrassed because I couldn't bench 95 pounds. They had 25s on there, and I would avoid the weight room or the bathroom and walking around. And the coach was like, "Hey, Charles, what are you doing? You're not, like, I don't see you working out." I was like, "Oh, no, I'm doing them. I'm lying. Yeah, I'm getting my lifts in." He's like, "You can tell me all you're saying, but your body ain't showing it. Like, I don't see that." So,
Call you out.
yeah, no, big time. And just because I was embarrassed, because Killian, my high school I went to here down in Miami, lifting weights was just what you did, right? It was pushed big time, and it made a huge difference in our program. And I just avoided it because I was so weak starting out. I missed that phase when I was starting out. But somehow, sophomore, junior year, it kicked in for me, and thank God. And then my senior year, I was super strong. Everything, weights helped out tremendously. So definitely in high school, being around older guys, seeing them influenced me obviously to lift weights. And then when I went and played college football, I was a receiver. And normally you go to college, you redshirt your first year, right? You don't really play. But I actually traveled and played my freshman year as a true freshman. Actually won freshman of the year, rookie award. Anyway, but being around those veterans, those older guys, I kind of wasted a year. I basically played in blowouts and played in sparing games. I shouldn't have played, but I got to travel with these older guys and see how they did things. And it was so impactful on my later years in college. So I think being around people who do it well is huge. Being now in this group with gym owners, I'm around the best of the best in the industry. Guys who are killing it, and that just kind of like gives you the path. right? And so it's hard going your own, but people, the path has already been traveled, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, that's awesome, bro. The fact that you're mimicking the same thing that happened to you in your fitness area, in your business area.
sure.
You're seeing how somebody else is doing it, and back then that fed you. That's like that feed into you. It's like, this is who I want to be.
Yeah, I mean, listen. The reality is, how many new things are made, right? You need to figure out who's doing it well and duplicate that, and put your own spin on it. Put your own thing. We don't need to recreate the wheel here. So, in business, finding people who do well, and then I got into the whole podcast and the books, and what's your why and self-help, and I'm still huge on that. I mean, I listen to podcasts probably 3 hours a day. I go to bed with it in my ear every night.
Who do you listen to?
Well, depends, because right now I'm big in the market, so I'm big into crypto, big into the stock market.
Okay.
There's a guy named Invest Answers, James. Listen to him every night, every day. There's Simon Sinek. I'm just not all these guys. I mean, there's a plethora of guys who just want to feed.
Do you has there any? Are you a book reader? Has that?
I have a bunch of books. I just don't read them. I read and then I fall asleep. So I'm trying to find my best right now.
Audible, brother. Audible.
I have credits on, but I do the podcast thing. I do the YouTube pages. I do that right now. I have all the books. I have what's the last book I read? Oh my God, what the hell's his name? I can't think of it. Damn it, that's terrible, because I'm almost done with his book. I can't even think of his name. I'm drawing a blank here, but I have like 40 books, and I tend to get to them eventually. But right now, listening audio-wise is my best bet for me personally. Because if I read, I fall asleep.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Listening to books for me has been a game changer.
I heard also you can actually listen to it and read at the same time. It's supposed to like double impact, double absorption.
Yeah, and then and not only that, I took it to the next level, bro. I started not just listening to it, and then I bought the book, reading it while I was listening to it, and then the book taught me to take it to the next level and actually do a book report on it.
Oh no, so you said the book report. I was like, that you really getting to not listen. So my problem I have a lot of times is that I go to bed, right, and I put my headphones in. My girl hates it, but I put my headphones in, and I'm listening to stuff. And I'm like, I want to get information. Then I wake up in the morning. I'm like, I don't remember what the hell I heard. I don't remember what I listened to, because I'm like in a state of conscious or not conscious. So I'm feeling, they say you play Mozart, you can hear things. It makes the kid smarter or whatever. But so I'm thinking I'm absorbing it, but I probably should just turn it off and get some good sleep instead of trying to like take so much in. But yeah, no, that's something I'm going to try to incorporate, having the playing and reading at the same time. I think that might help out.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, what helped me was, dude, I really wanted to get that stuff.
Sure.
I really wanted to get good at that.
No, the book report, I think I'd make a big
then,
difference. Writing it down.
Yeah, no, just afterwards.
Yeah.
You start teaching it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Teacher,
No.
bro, then you become like a master.
No, yeah, listen, you put in 10,000 hours, you're a master of that trait.
You become a master, and then it becomes a part of you.
Yeah.
It becomes a part of who you are because it's already in your psyche.
Yeah, for sure.
Acting it
No.
out in life.
For sure.
So.
No, you're good.
So yeah, man. Doing that. The reason why I ask you that is because a lot of times, whether it could be influencers, it could be books, authors, they make a big impact in our lives.
Sure.
Do you have anybody specifically that has made an impact in your life, whether it's a business owner or a book or a podcaster, influencer?
I mean, I can say that, my coach from Two Brain Business, Nick, has been, even though he's younger than me, but he's been beneficial for sure. There's not a particular business owner that I'm trying to emulate or do what they do. But they've all been beneficial in helping me. But, Nick is being my coach for the past 2 years. We have a unique relationship, so he knows every intricacy of my business, and he knows how to keep me accountable and knows when I'm not on top of my game or when I'm slacking off. So I'd say Nick has helped tremendously. And then down in Miami, other gyms, like I said, I'm cool with all the gym owners down here, but not to the point to where we're breaking, having meals over business. So just Nick.
Yeah. Like for me, well, obviously, I'm sure Tony Robbins.
Sure.
My early years, man. You
Yeah.
know, I attach myself a lot to his teachings.
Sure.
Um, Stephen Covey. He's been a mentor to me to the books.
Yeah.
And yeah, other people. But talk to me about other aspects of your life, man. What other areas of your life are you trying to improve in?
Well, I have a family. I have a girl, and we have a stepdaughter. I have a daughter again. I also have a son. I had a son early. I had a son at 16. I mean, my main focus is my family and business, and finding financial freedom. I don't want to be doing this until I'm 60. And being an entrepreneur, it does give you some flexibility. Pros and cons. I can come and go as I please, but I also am on call 7 days a week. So it's sometimes hard to establish boundaries. Especially, so what I've learned a lot in my two-brain business adventure is basically learning to delegate, take small things off my plate, and letting go of control of everything. Right? I don't need to worry about where the paper towels are going. Right? That's going to be someone else's job. So putting bigger ticket items on my plate and smaller tasks, giving those off to other people, the people who are better than me at like social media. It's not my thing. But now I have somebody who does my social media and does it way better than me. So being able to let go of certain things comes also with experience and time and understanding that you as the owner operator need to focus on the bigger task and delegate basically. So that's a big thing I've been focusing on now lately, is delegating.
So do you do that enable so that you can free your time?
Sure,
and
exactly.
Focus on your relationship.
Correct. So yeah, time is short.
Yeah.
I have a calendar in my office. It's called 4K weeks, right? So it shows your life in 88 years span, and it's a box. It goes across 52 boxes in a line, and I go every Saturday. I mark on a box. It shows you how much time you have left in life. That box is already halfway full. My calendar is halfway full. So time is short. It can be over before you know it. But we're already in September of 2024. I mean, it's incredible. So I just want to do things. I want to, be spontaneous. I want to be able to take a trip if I need to take a trip. I'm actually going to go hike Angel's Landing October 1st, in like 3 weeks. Me and my son and my brother on a one-day trip. It's going to go there, hike it, just to say, just to do it, just to basically get out of the rat race, And so, if business is successful, it does give you the flexibility to do certain things, I would say you're not going to get rich from the gym world. That's not going to happen here. But you can get comfortable for sure.
Yeah.
Nice,
man. Well, I think that we covered pretty much a lot. I appreciate you opening up.
Yeah, man.
And
we should definitely do it again.
For
sure. We can talk about some more stuff. I can't think of the book is called The Day After Tomorrow. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the goddamn writer, but it's a great book. It just basically talks about wealth and how the dollar is devaluing and basically going to zero eventually. So if you don't have any Bitcoin, make sure you get some Bitcoin, right? You need to have some Bitcoin. Inflation is the silent thief stealing from us every day.
Yeah. So you think Bitcoin is going to be...
Listen. Bitcoin's been around for 15 years. It's the best performing single investment ever, right? I mean, you could have bought Bitcoin 2009 for pennies, and now it's $57,000 a coin. So, and you can't make more of it. Whereas the dollars, they print dollars all the time, so that's deflation. I mean, it's inflation on the dollar. So Bitcoin has a fixed supply, 21 million, never make any more. And if you look now, big money is buying it. You have BlackRock, a big investment bank, is buying Bitcoin. So I'm just doing what big money's doing, right? Smart money's doing. So,
So can you mine? Can you mine Bitcoin? Or
yeah, you can.
That's
Well, it's harder and harder to mine it. Currently, there are 450 Bitcoins mined every day. And mining, what mining really is basically computers doing, it sounds silly, but computers doing math problems. And whoever can solve it the fastest wins the Bitcoin. And I mean, and you know, what is Bitcoin? You can't hold it. It's not tangible. It's code. But it's got some value though. It's digital gold, right? You know, that's kind of what they're saying it is now. But yeah, anyone can mine Bitcoin. It's just a matter of what percentage of that Bitcoin will you be rewarded for mining it. And some miners, some rigs, they call it rigs, or just a computer, they have to be up to speed. So if they're too slow, so now rigs cost a lot of money to buy rigs, again, computers to mine the Bitcoin. So you don't have the best computers, you're not going to be able to get the Bitcoin. So you have to always constantly upgrade. So now it's big business. There's companies out there that's all they do is mine Bitcoin, and they might mine 800 Bitcoin in a year, but it costs them 700 Bitcoin to do it for as far as electricity, as far as equipment. So it's not a huge profitable business too, but you can obviously make money because you do 100 Bitcoin times 57,000, you just made 5.7 million or whatever, $57 million is, whatever that math number is. So yeah, it's interesting, but again, you just want to have a little bit, you know, have something because there's not enough to go around. There's only 21 million, and there's 8 billion people. Every millionaire won't be able to have one. So, you know.
Charles, let me ask you something. What advice would you give an entrepreneur, whether it's in the gym or they're just trying to start a business? What advice would you give them right now if you were Charles, younger Charles?
You need to invest in yourself, right? You are your biggest, most important investment, right? So you need to invest in knowledge. You need to be around people who are doing it already. You need to invest in books, courses, whatever you need to get the knowledge. And just really, you know, you got to take a risk. Life is short. You know, when you're young, you have the ability to fail because you can recoup that money. Obviously, as you get later in life, taking risk, you know, you have to worry about financial stability. But when you're young, take risk. You know, definitely put yourself out there. And the people who take risks sometimes are the ones who get rewarded. You know, don't play it safe.
Okay. Well, folks, you heard it from Mr. Charles. Thank you so much for being with us, brother.
Yeah, man. Thank you, bro.
All right, and we'll see you maybe next time.
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right, awesome.